there. Cause it's a West Side Stories with Andrew Willmore. They're smoking so much weed that they probably chill more. It's a West Side Stories with your host Wes Brenner and Andrew Willmore. How could it get much better? West Side Stories. Alright, what's up, Wes? Well, I fucking can't even speak. I've got a whole mouthful of phlegm. Welcome to another episode of West Side Stories Podcast. I am your host, Wes Brenner. With me today is a very funny comedian, local comic, and a good friend of mine, Andrew Willmore. What's up?
Hello. Glad to be here.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Thanks for joining, man. Fucking, I thought that somebody else was going to be coming through today, and then they spaced out. Spacey Stacy, shout out now.
Let's go.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
It's great to be plan B.
No, you were plan A. No, you were plan A. I just am fucking, I'm like awkward sometimes. I feel like, sometimes I'm like, am I going to fucking freeze up on one person? And so then I like to just throw another random person in there to just fucking,
Well, luckily that's not going to happen here.
No, exactly. No, I figured we'll be able to have a good fucking,
I mean, you're not
a
an
good time.
guy at all.
I feel like
am, so that's a problem.
I'm awkward though too. I feel like I just I mask it with smoking a bunch of weed or being loud or but I feel like I am actually very in some situations I'm super awkward. I'm I feel so awkward.
Really?
Not around you or people that we know, but there are people that I feel like I'll put on a face of trying to be polite or being cool, man.
Yeah, that's kind of just being a person.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're definitely 99th percentile. I feel like just being, just chill. Because I feel like a lot of people feel social anxiety.
Yeah.
I would imagine you don't get.
No, I do. I get hella social. That's why I smoke so much weed. No, it's weird, especially going out and stuff. I feel again, it's one of those things that I feel on the outside people wouldn't tell, but inside I'm so when I walk into ACC, I've said this on the pod before, but when I walk into American Comedy Club on a Tuesday when it's open mic night and it's all the fucking open micers are everywhere, and I feel so self-conscious usually. I'm fucking everybody hates me and fuck, you know what I mean? I hate walking in there because I'm I get hella social anxiety. Yeah, nobody really cares usually. No, everybody's thinking about their set and they're fucking worried too, and everybody but it's just funny.
It's nice of you to be thinking of other people.
Yeah,
but how much they hate you.
Yeah, it's true. I know. I know. I should be thinking about my set, but I'm just everybody fucking hates me. Well, it feels very clicky.
Do you actually feel like that?
Yeah.
That people don't like you?
Oh, I mean, I think it's a I think that it's an exaggeration of my brain.
You go up because you're an employee. Is that what you're saying?
Not even that. I don't think it's that. I think it's just my personality and just me as a person. I think just not.
Just unlikable.
Yeah, it is. I don't think I'm unlikable. I don't think I'm unlikable, but I think that I'm. I think that I'm a lot, and it can come off as ego. Fucking kind of egotistic or fucking kind of just
I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's good. I appreciate it. I'm happy that it's maybe, but then again, that's what I'm saying too, is sometimes it's just a projection of my own insecurities, where I'm just people don't fucking like me, and I create kind of a narrative around it, and then somebody's actually kind of nice to me or something, I'm I thought that person fucking hated me, and then they're nice, and then I'm okay, maybe
have you ever had someone confirm that they just hated you?
Not a lot. I think probably way less. Yeah, usually it's it's just in my head, but I mean maybe once or twice there's been times
in the
where
comedy scene?
Yeah, I think usually I don't think I can think of anybody who I can be who I'd be oh yeah, they were from day one, or I fucking hate you. But there was just, it's just I'm sensitive, so then when I say hi to people or something and they don't say hi back, then I'll be oh, they hate me, or you know what I mean, just dumb shit like that. And then I eventually I'm oh, whatever, they're actually just doing their own thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They just barely. They just don't need to share airspace with me. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some of that I feel in comedy. Just like if you're higher up on the ladder, it's just like they probably see so many people just come through, and then it's kind of worth it at that point.
Totally, and I get that, and I do like try and respect the hierarchy of fucking people who have put in the time and grinded a lot longer, and I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to put in my time, but it's nice when people can at least be like human and just be like, hello, other human, acknowledge your presence as a person. But then again, you shouldn't expect it too much, because it's like I get too into the like, oh, I want fucking everybody's approval and like praise, and then like, if it doesn't happen, it's like it's not that big of a deal. Like it's not. You shouldn't like let it make you be like, I don't want to go out and go do comedy anymore because nobody likes me. Like
I hope not.
No,
every time you go up and no one laughs, it's like
that is confirming. It's just reaffirming. You're like, fuck, dude. I know you can get in a dark spiral with like comedy and stuff. Like if you have a couple of bad sets and then like you have a couple weird interactions with people and you start just being like, dude, I fucking suck at comedy.
It's not really good,
it's not good for mental health.
Well, it is, but
it depends.
I would say it is.
If you're murdering, if you're killing, if you're like crushing, then it's probably good for mental health.
I think it's good just to do something.
No, I agree. I do think that like doing stand-up is a positive thing, because I think that like, oh wait, am I completely? Oh fuck, whoops. It's okay. Sorry, I'm just readjusting the volume here because I had yours I was trying to have mine quieter than yours and yours louder because I talk very fucking loud into the mic, but then I had it the opposite. So that whole thing, you're gonna be quiet. You're gonna be quiet.
That's perfect.
No, but now we should be probably pretty good.
You what made you want to start doing the podcast?
I like Legion of Skanks. Like we were just watching some of Legion of Skanks, and like those guys are actually like a big inspiration to me starting a podcast, because like podcasts are kind of how I got into doing stand up, because like I fucking I went through a big breakup, and again, this is anybody who's watched this podcast multiple episodes already knows this fucking story, so they're like, God damn it, was I keep telling you, but I
was that your villain origin story kind of for comedy, like it's kind of it's probably same for me, maybe kind of like roughly.
Yeah, tell me yours, because that's more interesting. And then
it's not interesting, but
it's at least interesting because people have, at least anybody who's tuned
that seems to be a common theme. I'll just say that it's a common theme.
Yeah,
like the breakup,
heartbreak.
I'm gonna show her kind of.
Yeah, but it wasn't about showing her, because I was like,
it's not.
I mean, no, like I would love to get to the point where I'm a fucking murdering comic and then be like flex on it. Like I would love that, but it's not like about that. It's about more, because the thing is that like it's not something that's impressive to her, I don't think. Like
obviously not. This is like it's pretty embarrassing.
I don't think it is. I think
it's embarrassing,
so fucking
dude.
cool.
Like
that's what Frankie was saying.
I hate telling people.
Frankie was saying that too. He was saying like he's embarrassed. I mean, I think it's the coolest.
Well, I think it's mostly
ever.
People don't know what to say in response, because it's such like a rare thing to hear, and then they just don't have like a geared up.
Yeah, they're like oh, tell me a joke.
Not even that. It's just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's like, now it's awkward because like you don't do anything. It's like, well, what are we going to talk about that you do?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why you got to hang out with fucking
your artist buddies.
People,
you seem to be more in like the art world. Like I am
sometimes.
Well, you're a musician. You got
but I don't
comic
know any
buddy.
I don't know any musicians down here that much, like because I just do comedy so much that I've been lacking on like actually going out to the like open mic, like the music open mics and doing that kind of shit. Like I want to start another band here because I've had bands when I was in Seattle and like in Austin when I lived in Austin, Texas.
How long were you in Austin?
I was there for 3 years, but it was before I started doing comedy.
Was it before Joe Rogan moved down there?
It was like right, like it kind of like lined up, I think, with like while they just moved down there, and then I had just like I think they moved down there at like the end of my time down there. Like I was there for 3 years, and I think in like year 2 they all moved down there, but I didn't know about
You weren't into
that
comedy.
scene at all. Yeah, I wasn't like, I had gone and seen like Hannibal Buress and like Nick Offerman do stand up because I liked them from various like sitcom shows and shit, like Parks and Rec and fucking Broad City and stuff. Like I was like, oh,
You like Broad City?
Yeah, I loved Broad City. Like I love a lot of dumb TV, so like that was right up my alley. But yeah, that was the only like thing. Or I would watch like Chappelle's specials when they would come out, or back in the day, or like shit like that. Like I'd seen a couple of specials here and there, but it wasn't like something that was super on my radar of like, this is something you can go do, you know? Like I didn't even think about it. And then I've just been like playing music for so long and never really had much success with that. Just kind of like, you know, had some bands and played shows and put on shows and put on festivals and whatever, done like some fun things with that, but never anything that like propelled, you know, financially a career or anything like that.
How long have you been doing music?
Like 19 years. Like,
so when did you start?
I started playing when I was 12.
In like just at home, or?
I got like guitar lessons. Like my mom, fucking paid for like guitar lessons for me, and I started going to this dude because I grew up on like this little island off of Seattle. So it was like a little hippie fucking farm kind of island and shit, you know, 1 grocery store, 2 grocery stores or something. And small fucking place, you know, like 14,000 people or something. And then, so I started playing music like on the island and shit. And I remember I would like bring my guitar to like the volleyball fucking games and shit, and I'd sit in the bleachers and just be singing songs like while like the volleyball game would be going. And
men's volleyball?
No, women's.
Okay.
Like the girls volleyball. I don't think they had men's volleyball like as
they
a
probably
sport.
did.
You're
just not paying attention.
Yeah, why would you? Yeah. But no, fucking, and I remember like one of the dads for like the volleyball took me out into the hall and like yelled at me because he was like, "What the fuck? Like, they're trying to play a game in there. He's like singing songs on the bleachers and shit." I was like, "Whatever, bro." Fuck it.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Did it get their attention? They got the dad's attention.
No, I never slept with any. Oh well, actually, never mind. My fucking first girlfriend played volleyball. I think she was in there. I was like, never mind, fucking. But I don't think that was how I got her attention. Like,
is that what got you into music? You're like, oh, this is a. I mean, you seem to be like an artistic guy just in general, but
yeah, no, yeah. I think
are you a lefty? You left-handed?
No, right-handed.
Okay.
Yeah, right-handed. But I like to masturbate with my left.
There we go. Switch it up.
Yeah, exactly. Switch hitter. No, but fucking. No, I didn't get into music to like get girls or whatever, but like it's definitely helped me like back in the day. I think it stopped helping me like as I got fat like a couple years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago. I got pretty like I'm pretty like chubby now. Maybe in the last 10.
It just happens when you.
I got a girlfriend too, so it was like that really didn't help. Like, and then like I had a couple. Every time I get a girlfriend, I get fatter. And then like, which is just the fucking your relationship weight or whatever. And then I don't think music like has helped that much, but there's definitely been times that it's like helped me out. But that wasn't like the reason to go. I just love music. I fucking like I'm a big music nerd too. Like I love a lot of different bands, and I like love listening to I'll listen on like to the like audio books of like their like band biographies or whatever. Like if a artist like Keith Richards, for example, he wrote like his story of like, you know, touring with the Rolling Stones and shit like that, and like they do drugs and fucking sneak them across the country and shit. And I always love those kind of stories and stuff. So I don't know. I'm big music.
Yeah, you got some of that in your comedy too. You're
Sometimes
going
too
across
much.
borders and
the
transporting
border,
whatnot.
The smuggling. I've never been very brave with it though. Like I've had friends who have like fucking taken like bottles of like a water bottle and emptied it out and then filled it up with like liquid ketamine and then like flown like back from like Costa Rica and shit back to the States, and like that always scares me. I'm like, no, it's not worth it. you know? Like just fucking
like the locked up abroad kind of
stories. Dude, Brittany Griner.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
they're not trading for you.
No,
you're staying there.
No, you're not getting traded for a merchant of death, dude. Maybe a merchant of Costco or something.
Dude, they're not even considering it.
Yeah, you're not even getting a Kmart fucking off-brand fucking rep, dude. They're not gonna give you like a locked up Kmart rep. They're like, fucking. But yeah, no, that's fucking. Yeah, dude. What are your biggest influences in comedy? Because I feel like I always feel like a Louis vibe from you. Do you like Louis C.K. a lot?
That's not good because I love Louis C.K.
No, but
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
I don't think you do it in like you're doing Louis, but I just can feel the kind of like, you know, similarity, and like you have a calmness too that like Louis has. You know what I mean? Like when you do shit, you're not just like.
Yeah, I probably.
It's like
I mean, you just kind of copy someone, you know. Like I don't necessarily try to directly copy, but you need someone to base your shit off
start
of.
For sure, dude. I mean,
like who's your person?
I don't think I do anybody that directly, just because I'm not good at like imitation. You know what I mean? I'm not good at like writing like somebody, but my favorites are like Stanhope is my favorite of all time. Like, but I love Louis. I love Attell. Like I love some more contemporaries like Tim Dillon and like Joe List and Dan Soder and like Mark Norman and shit, and Gillis is, you know, great. And so like I don't know.
Yeah, dude, the Gillis influence is definitely big.
That's hard. I don't know everybody why. Does the hand thing, and I've been called on it too, and I notice that I do it too, and it sucks. Every time I notice, I'm like trying to put my hand like,
but he does that too.
My back,
he does that shit also.
I know, but it's better. Everybody does
and
that.
And then this.
Though. Everybody does this. Never do this.
Never do that.
Never ever. Yeah, if you move your hand anyway like that, like you can't. That's gone.
And lean forward. Yeah, dude,
that's
you
gone.
Just know all
no
his mannerisms, dude.
Yeah. No, for sure. You definitely have to like watch yourself with Shane. I see a lot of comics do that.
Why do you think that is? Is his delivery just that good where it's like...
I think it's just he's picked up on these mannerisms that are very relatable. So it's just these
That's true. It's like the perfect motion for a lot of things.
Yeah, he's just locked because he's been figuring those out for fucking
but he's
long.
Not been doing it any longer than like any other famous comedian, but he's like the guy who a lot of people are imitating.
Of them, dude, somebody I saw
like no one's doing like Norman.
Anwar's been doing it for 22 years. That's crazy to me.
Doing what?
Comedy.
Yeah, I don't know who that is,
Fahim,
but yeah,
he's like a young-looking fucking. Here, I'll pull him up. He's like young. He's a Comedy Store regular, who, you know, started in Seattle and then, you know, moved to LA and shit. I think I'm not sure if he's Indian or Pakistani or what, but he's fucking. But this dude is not. I mean, he can't be that old. Like, I don't think Fahim is. I don't know how old this dude is, but he can't be fucking that old. It's crazy to me that he's been doing comedy for fucking 22 years. Look at that. This is what he's like
40 maybe.
Yeah.
Like 35.
Yeah. I'm like, when did you start, bro? What the fuck? Like, how are you been doing comedy for 22 years? That's crazy. Like,
but that's what I'm saying is no one's copying his mannerisms.
No, but that's because I just don't think that they're as distinct in his act.
He's got that. A lot of people do this.
I think it's just like, I think a lot of people are doing it more subtle. Like, and Shane really leans into he's physically acting while he's also.
I don't know, dude. Just like hand behind the back is pretty subtle.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the most subtle. That's the one that's the most subtle, because I see this is super like, it just has other people do it, but he would do it. It's like there's something about how he's doing it that you're paying more attention to.
That's why it's still subtle, like, though. I describe all these things as subtle.
I think they're subtle, but I think that there's
just something. I'm gonna say attractive.
Yeah,
I just
he's
did
also just a great comic too. He's also just a very funny, likable dude who's very good at comedy. So it's also just a thing where it's like
he might just be the guy right now. Oh, and he's like all over social media.
I mean, of course, yeah, he's big.
So
for
people
a
are
minute.
just if you're newer to comedy, I guess he's
That's what I'm saying. He's a huge influence.
Right.
He's brought in a bunch of these people because they're like, oh, dude, Gillis and other people. But they're like, Gillis is their guy. They've watched his fucking shit. They've run his tapes like fucking, like sports tapes and shit. Like they're just re-watching that shit. So they're just picking up these mannerisms like, subconsciously.
Right.
And then they have to work really hard for years to fucking get that out of
So
their
maybe it's
system.
smart then to just copy a lesser known comic and then no one will call you on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to go dig up you got to go watch like old Pryor and old Kinnison
Right.
and
I've
shit.
Yeah. seen him.
Start doing Kinnison.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Pryor.
Kinnison is sick. I gotta watch more Pryor. I haven't gone in.
Pryor's a black guy?
Yeah. Yeah, Richard Pryor.
Like, yeah.
He's in this movie, dude, with Eddie fucking Murphy. This is him and Eddie Murphy in fucking Harlem Nights. It's a really good movie, actually. You gotta check that out sometime. It's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty funny. I hadn't watched that. And then actually Corey Ryan fucking recommended that one. And I was like, dude, that shit's actually fucking hilarious. They're both like they're not pimps. They play like they're like club owners. They're like nightclub owners and shit, and they get involved, with like all the kind of, fucking having to kill and stab and extort or whatever. The life of a nightclub owner in Harlem in the 80s. Be crazy. But yeah, dude, fucking did you grew up out here in San Diego? Or where'd you grow up?
Grew up in New Jersey.
Oh, really?
Until I was like 10.
Oh shit, okay.
Then
That's
moved
sick.
to the Bay Area. Very sick.
Bay Area, nice. I was born in Berkeley.
You're a Berkeley man.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, I had the vibe. I know, I took it into my skin before.
How long were you there?
Only like just a couple months. It was
Dude,
only a couple
that's all
months.
you needed.
I know. Well, and then I've like gone back throughout my life to visit, but I was only there a couple of months, I think, and then I moved. I think I was there 6 months or something, and then I moved to Taiwan. And when I was 1 year old, I moved to Taiwan, and we lived in Taiwan for like a year or something, from like when I was 1 till like 2, I think. I forget the exact timeline, but I think it was like, maybe it was before I was 1. It might have been like, it was 5 months old. We moved to Taiwan because my uncle is adopted. He's Japanese and then like a little bit Mexican, but you wouldn't even be able to tell. He's like very, Japanese looking. And his wife is, she's Thai. She's from, or no, not Thai. Sorry, she's Taiwanese.
Okay.
Taiwanese. I just fucked it up because
He
So he moved out to Thailand, met this girl from Taiwan, or not Thailand. I said Thailand. I meant Taiwan. I fucked up. If I said Thailand, I'm sorry. That's because I'm fucking retarded. I mean Taiwan.
Right.
Yeah. The island, the tiny island of Taiwan.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah.
Oh wait, Thailand's an island too?
I believe so.
What? Thailand is an island. That's crazy. Thailand is an island.
It's a planet.
Thailand is an island. Okay, well, not an island. Oh! Hell yeah, dude. I didn't think so, but I'm so fucking retarded.
It sounds like an island.
Yeah, no,
I don't know why I thought it was an island.
Rhymes.
Yeah.
Thailand. Thailand Island. Welcome to Thailand Island.
Fuck.
We have the Mai Tais. We have Lady Boys. We have all of the things you need.
That's it. Those two.
Hell yeah, Mai Tais and Lady Boys. Yeah, that sounds like a good. No, for real. That's like why people go out there. You know, dude. That's a vacation. Like.
So you're Asian.
No, but that's adopted.
You're kind of Asian though. You live there.
I lived there, and I'm cultured in Asian. I have Asian culture because also like
shoes off.
I fucking I love dim sum. Big dim sum fucking. Big dim sum person, big anime person, big I love Asian culture. Like I've always loved Asian culture. I lived in Taiwan.
That might be the what? That might be your genetics though.
What?
The anime.
Oh yeah, the anime because of black.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one probably was already happening either way. But no, but like other than that, like I also like I think Asian cuisine is probably my favorite. Like I love Thai food.
Asian over Mexican.
I love Chinese food. Yeah, Asian over Mexican.
Over like all of Latin America.
Yeah,
Asian
if I had to pick
Latin
one
American.
over the other, 100% Asian. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Pot stickers, fried rice, fucking udon noodles, fucking ramen, fucking like there's so much better. Like
how about on like a broader, like the entire culture? Latin America.
I would take Asian culture way more. Yeah, it's just cooler. Dude.
Okay.
Just way cooler. Like I'm not as drawn to Mexico, and it's weird because I'm.
I mean, not just Mexico, like.
But Latin America, like
America.
I'm just not as drawn. Like I think that like Spain would be cool. I think like Spanish, like Spanish style flamenco guitar is cool. I like that. Like my dad actually, cool fucking story. My dad. So you know fucking the song Mr. Jones. By the Counting Crows.
Yes.
Mr. Jones and me. That song is written about this flamenco guitar player, this famous flamenco guitar player. And actually fact check me on this, anybody, because actually I remember hearing that actually that song is written about the bass player in the Counting Crows, and it's not about the dude that I'm about to talk about. But Mr. Jones is a famous flamenco guitar player, right? He's a real guy. I forget what his first name is, but fucking famous flamenco guitar player. And
he's a Spaniard.
He's a Spaniard.
His last name is Jones.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a Spaniard. He's a famous flamenco guitar player, and he has a son who is also like a famous musician as well, but I don't think as famous. I don't think he's as famous. I'm trying to find this dude, but the name of him, but I don't know. Anyway, so I don't think the dude fucking is as famous, but anyways, he fucking Mr. Jones' son, the famous flamenco guitar player, Mr. Jones, his son, also a musician, was friends with my dad. And took my dad around Spain when my dad was in his late 20s or something. He was traveling because my dad did a good amount of traveling, and he took him around Spain. And brought him into all these fucking secret underground nightclubs and all these that was flamenco guitar nightclubs and shit that you couldn't get into if you were just a white dude, because my dad's white, and then my mom is black and Mexican. But yeah, my dad's white, bald white dude that isn't gonna get into all these fucking dope ass fucking clubs in Spain. But then Mr. Jones fucking took him around all these spots and shit. So yeah, that shit's
And so your dad told you that the song was about this guy.
Yeah,
and the guy told your dad that the song was about his dad or something.
I don't know. Well, I just remember my dad telling me oh, that's the Mr. Jones they're talking about.
Is your dad the same age as the Counting Crows guy?
He is, because my mom went to high school or middle school with the guy from Counting Crows.
Dude, you got a lot
Adam
of
Duritz.
crossover with Counting Crows.
I know, it's weird. I've joked that I'm his love child because everybody always says I look like him.
You should add that into your.
I know.
Because you do have the Counting. Yeah, if your mom knows the guy.
I know. They were friends in middle school.
There we
She would
go.
go over to his house and shit and hang out. And they would do, it was her and this other girl, and they would go over to fucking Adam Duritz's house and kick it in middle school. I know, it's such a weird, but it's just because the Bay Area is so small. My parents grew up in the Bay, and my dad was born in San Francisco, my mom was born in Oakland, and they grew up in the Bay, and then fucking, so Primus too. Primus is from the Bay. You know the band Primus?
No.
Les Claypool. He's a fucking bass player. I bet you would know Primus.
I know Green Day.
Green Day is from the Bay
that's
too.
Bay Area.
They're from the Bay too. Yeah. 31. What is it? Gilman Street. Something Gilman. I don't know. 13 Gilman Street. 13 Gilman Street.
Do you like Green Day? You respect their art?
I like them. I was never a huge.
Because they're very mainstream, so I'm wondering, as someone who actually listens to a lot of different bands, what your perspective would be.
I don't know him super well. I like Dookie. I think like, you know, like songs like Brain Stew and shit are pretty tight. But like, I never was like a huge Green Day fan. Like when they were out, like, cause I found out about them like after Dookie. I found out about them like once they had just put out American Idiot, and that was like huge when I was in like 6th grade. Like when I got into 6th grade. American Idiot was the fucking everybody's shit. Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Like, it was like, I walk this lonely road, only one. Like, that was everybody's shit. But
Are you 30?
well, I'm 31.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, it was everybody's shit, but fucking, but then it never was like my like concrete. Like, there's a lot of those songs that kind of like come and go, and you're like into them, but it's like a fad, you know. So it wasn't one of the ones that like stuck with me, you know what I mean? Like Green Day wasn't really one of the ones. Like I love Blink-182, like on the level that like a lot of people love Green Day, where it's like I love Blink still to this day. You could put on like First Date or fucking, you know, a Rock Show or all these dumb songs, and I fucking love them. I'm like, but like fucking Green Day, I'm like, it's good, but I was never huge, but yeah, but I think they're dope. Like they just came through, actually, I'm pretty sure. And shit.
They're still touring? They're still doing stuff?
They're still fucking...
Yeah, I guess bands just go on forever.
And Green Day, I think that
they're pretty young.
I think they're cool because like they are doing cool shit. So like the other day, they just did a secret show in the fucking New York subway system. Like they were in the subway and they dressed up as like old men with Jimmy Fallon, and then they did like a show, and then they ripped off the fucking masks and shit, and it was like Green Day, and everybody was like, it's Green Day and shit. So,
but also there's just cameras everywhere.
Yeah, there's cameras and stuff, but it's still pretty cool. Like, I don't know, like,
yeah, I'm just being a hater.
Yeah,
being negative.
No, I mean, they gotta film it, they gotta put it out there, but I think it's pretty tight. Like, there's a lot of bands who aren't doing cool shit like that, you know, 30 years into their career, 20 years into their career, so. But then there's lots of
bands. Well, they might just be, again, being negative. I feel like I haven't heard much about them lately, so just trying to salvage the career a little bit.
That is true, yeah. Sometimes, like, bands will just start to fucking, like yeah, they're like,
let's go on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't seen a band for 20 years. You're like, oh, what the fuck is fucking Real Big Fish doing back?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
So who's your, what are some bands that you really like?
I mean, I grew up like on the Grateful Dead and shit, and then like, I don't know, big Talking Heads fan. I love the Smiths and like the Cure. I've gotten into them in the last couple of years, and like.
And do you find that they like release entire albums where you like all the songs?
No, not usually. Depends on the band. Like the Smiths more so. Like the Smiths, I pretty much like albums that are all the way through because like the Smiths, like Johnny Marr is like the guitar player for the Smiths. I don't know if you know the Smiths very well.
I don't know any.
Okay,
that's why I said Green Day. That's like the one band I know.
you're like, that's it. After Green Day, I tap.
That's my level of band. Like
that's funny.
Green Day. I was gonna ask you about Nickelback. Like your opinion on Nickelback.
I used to hate Nickelback so much, but now like I kind of like Nickelback because like I'm starting to like really get into like bad music and stuff. Like I've loved good
but it's
music
like
for so long.
But it sounds good though.
Well, it's produced well. It's very well produced.
I don't get how you could say it doesn't sound. It's like, made to be catchy.
I know, but like I hate a lot of shit that is like for the radio. Like there's a lot of shit that like
the Harry Styles
is too poppy.
You know,
I've never
song?
heard it.
All right.
I've never heard it, or maybe I've heard the Watermelon one.
That or like some other.
I've barely heard that shit. I don't really usually like very overproduced shit, but I was learning how to play the fucking. This is how you remind me.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Really am.
It's just undeniably catchy.
For a different story. No, it is very catchy. It's like what happened was like I was at work. I was like working, and they played that song like enough times, like during like the cleanup at work, that like it just got stuck into my head. And then I was like, all right, I want to learn.
It doesn't take
now.
much, yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, oh, I suck. Dude.
So that's ACC.
Yeah, that's like working. Yeah, at ACC.
And how do you like that?
It's okay. It's fun. I mean, I like the fucking. It's a good job, like good people and stuff, and like.
Do you get any other perks besides like going up for the open mic?
I mean, some people like. I think eventually you can start to open for people. You just have to like kind of like you have to wait, and then like once you have a good enough set, you have to reach out to like the people who make those decisions and be like, hey, I think I'm ready. And then if they think you're ready, then they'll put you up, like potentially.
Hey, put me on.
Yeah, put me in, coach.
Put me on.
Hey, throw me in. Yeah, but I'm gonna kind of wait that one out because like I want to like really be fucking like murdering before I ask those kind of favors. You know, I don't want to like waste those opportunities. I feel like, and I was talking about this to another comic today, but I feel like a lot of people, and like me included, like everybody gets like, I'll get butthurt when I see shit like when I'm like, oh, like this person got this or this person got this, and like I don't get to do anything, you know, like I'll get in my head like I'm fucking,
but they're gonna quit.
But exactly, they're gonna quit, and it's like, and it's like, dude, if people get big opportunities right now and they're not ready for them, and they fucking bomb them, like that's just making you go backwards.
I almost feel like the expectation is to bomb.
Well, yeah, for
like,
sure.
Even
well,
you
we
go
suck.
Up,
we're all open
exactly.
micers. I mean, we're not funny.
Even if you go up, you get this opportunity, you bomb. It's like
yeah, no, it's fine. Expected. It's not the end of the world. Keep doing it. But I'm just saying, like, I would still. If you're like getting opportunities to like open for like headlining acts at like a club and shit, like I would wait until you're good enough that you're gonna do decent.
You don't want to ruin people's night when they paid money.
And if you do good, you can, like my buddy fucking in Tacoma, shout out fucking my boy, he just got fucking like asked by a national headliner to go on the road with him because, and he deserves the fuck out of it.
Nah, dude, he's jealous hilarious. Now.
He's hilarious. He's one of my favorite comics in Seattle, or in Tacoma, in fucking Washington. One of my favorite comics. Fucking shout out Logan Cantrell. But fucking like legitimate, and like we tried to get a pod in fucking Vegas with him, but fucking we were both just we tried one night and then we tried another night. It didn't happen. So gonna catch you when you come down here, Logan. But yeah, like he got asked by fucking a national headliner to go on the road and shit, and it's like that's because he's hilarious and he's earned that. But there's other people who are getting spots to open for fucking headlining comics, and they're fucking, you know, doing their same fucking whatever booty set that we've seen a million times around the mics, and it's like, bro,
like who?
I'm not gonna name fucking names, dude. Fuck that. I'm not trying to get buried in this fucking scene. People already hate me. Like
no one hates you, dude.
Yes, people do.
Let's give them a reason.
Crazy. It's crazy to think that they know. I know. I feel the hatred in their eyes when they look at me.
But that's everyone, dude. That's not that's not personal. Dude. That's just they're just upset to be there.
They just hate being a comic. They're just like, I fucking hate myself. Why couldn't I have been a successful doctor, a lawyer, a pilot, anything?
Yeah. Like, people think that?
I don't know. I don't want to be any of those things.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
No, that sounds horrible. I'd rather be an open micer who works at Safeway, Target.
It's a path.
Yeah,
it's an option.
Yeah, no, for sure. Fucking yeah, dude. How'd you get into comedy?
Fuck, dude, that's a hard question. That was the first mic I did. I don't know, I just thought it was like always something I might be able to do. Yeah. I hate public speaking. Obviously, I'm just kind of a quieter guy.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, well, it's like I'm going to have to figure out how to do this eventually. And like, I like comedy. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, this seems like a good way to go about, you know, improving that aspect. So
I like
that's kind of it.
I like that style though that you have, because you're kind of like, fucking, I don't know. It's this funny thing.
I try to play up there like I don't belong there.
Yeah,
I'm not like supposed, like I don't feel like I want to be up there, and like
yeah, it's hilarious. It's a good bit. And then fucking you also do this thing where you'll go at people sometimes, like in like a fucking, like you have like balls in comedy that like I do not have, bro. Like you'll fucking like talk to like some audience member and you'll be like, bro, like say some shit, and like I'm like, holy shit, like are you gonna, like, it's like sometimes where I'm like, dude, like this dude might smack you right now, and it is hella funny. It's very funny shit, but it's just hilarious. Like I don't know, you just fucking like go for it, or like what gives you that kind of balls in comedy, dude? Like,
dude, I think I just like trolling people, like you maybe
but like live, you like in
but
person.
you seem to like when people like Like, I don't
Yeah,
know
I
you
like
that
want to
well,
be
but
liked.
you
No,
like
for
being
sure.
liked.
I want to be liked.
Whereas
I'm super insecure.
I almost prefer when people don't like me.
See, I lean into it when people don't, but I hate it. Like, I'm
Right.
up there, like, sweating, like, no. But, like, but I'll just be like,
I
all
call
right,
those
now I'm going to
almost
start
like-
talking about abortion.
Yeah.
Because you hate me. Like,
Right. So that's what I feel like I got to get better at that. Like, once they don't like me, I got to figure out how to, like, turn that around.
Bring
but
them back.
I don't mind, like, sitting in the space of, like, you guys just don't like me. It's fine.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I think that is a really good place to be if you can be comfortable with that. Because, yeah, trolling people, especially trolling, like, a couple people, whereas the rest of the crowd is, like, kind of laughing with you. That's the
Right.
best. You
And
know,
I mean,
like,
sometimes half the crowd for the open mic is just, or usually most of the crowd's just the other open micers.
Yeah. No,
So if
I
the
hate-
crowd-
I hate
Dude, if the
playing
crowd,
to
like the 4 people in the crowd don't like you, it's almost funny to open micers. at
Yeah,
that
no,
point.
it is funny to open micers for sure. It's funny to me for sure. Whenever you're like,
You're my audience.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
who I'm up there performing for.
no, that is funny. I do like that the trolling, like it is hilarious, but it is just ballsy. Where it's like you'll do it sometimes though to like dudes who I'm like I would be scared to like fuck with this dude. Like
Have you ever?
I'm like
have
I'm
you
a
ever been in
pussy,
a
bro.
fight?
Yeah, I've been in fights, but not like a lot. Like I got my ass kicked by my cousin one time because I was like pinching weed from him like 15 years ago when we lived together, and like I fucking I fought somebody like mostly I think in like middle school and high school. Like I think I just got like in one fight when some dude like called me the N-word. Like it was just like I threw like a blow or something.
Did it
and then-
upset you?
I think it
Or
was
you just
more-
felt like you had to?
I had it was just it didn't like
because if you
upset
don't,
me.
you're not like black or
Yeah,
something.
it was just like a like pride thing where it was just like it was in front of people and shit, and I was like, now I have to fucking throw down.
Yeah.
And I had like my like 6.5 foot fucking like Swedish fucking football player homie like got my back too. Like he
Right.
was huge.
Yeah,
bro.
we don't use that
he
word
was
here.
throwing down
The
on
Swedish dude.
Oh yeah, he was
he's more upset than you were
he was
probably.
a beast, bro. He was fucking. So we were throwing down, but then it was also like right in front of the fucking the.
So we were throwing down.
Yeah, we
It was
really
you
were.
and him.
Yeah, we were throwing down
Where's this
against
guy?
against
This racist.
Well, it was he had like 2 friends with him or something. So it was like me. I punched one dude, and then and then Max like grabbed some other dude and like picked him up or some shit. But then like we were right outside the fucking counselor, like fucking the counselor's office. So she saw it and she was just like, bah! Like screamed, and then we all fucking got like suspended and shit. And like we're all like in the fucking office like crying.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That was in Seattle.
It was in Vashon, which is like a little island off of Seattle. I went to high school there. It was like 400 kids in my entire high school.
Okay.
Like super small.
What was like your town like? Like are you so you're suburban?
It's not really suburbs. It's more like farm town, kind of like more
Rural.
like farm, more rural. Yeah, it's like rednecks, hippies, farm kind of lands.
Yeah.
And then it sort of as it's gone over the like last 15, 20 years, it's been like gentrified.
Right.
And so it's just gotten like more kind of
hippies.
ritzy and less hippie, more fucking expensive, but
Gotcha.
still hippie
Like
or
tech?
like nice. Yeah, like maybe a little tech money and like a little bit of just like, I don't know what people are doing, but just fucking, yeah, just like nice, like a little bit more high class, like higher class hippie, not as much like pot smoking fucking VM or VW
Right.
buzz hippie, but more like we fucking listen to the Grateful Dead on vinyl, but we also sip like Cabaret and like, I don't fucking, like whatever these older hippies are doing. But yeah, that was the island. Did you go to a bigger school, or how big was your high school?
Like 300 in our class, I think.
In the class,
Yeah.
damn, yeah. See, I think that was easier probably to have more people
Yeah,
You know
400
what I
in the
mean?
school is tiny.
because everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
Everybody's fucking the same people. Everybody's fighting the same people. Everybody's like, if you got beefs with people, it's like, oh, I gotta have his back or no. It's just like it's so.
It was like that.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. It was fucking so tiny and shit. Everybody knows everybody's.
And you're on
fucking
an
drama.
island, so you're all locked
stuck
in
on
together.
an island. Yeah, dude. Like, Holy shit, bro. Oh yeah, that shit was fucking.
That is an interesting thing about Seattle, though, is how you get like two very different kinds of white people.
Yeah.
You get like the hippie, like blue hair.
Yeah.
And then you just get redneck.
Yeah.
They're just coexisting.
For sure. No, it's great.
It's kind of the only place where you can see that.
No, Austin, Texas.
You think Austin's like that?
Yeah, Austin's like that because it's really anywhere that you go that there's like a blue city surrounded by a red state. You know what I mean? Where it's like you get a very liberal city like Austin or Seattle or these places that's like very LA, very liberal, but then around it you go fucking 30 miles in any direction and it's going to be rednecks. It's going to be fucking,
You think Austin was on the same level as Seattle? Of like liberalness?
I think Austin, yeah, pretty much, maybe like a little bit. I think so, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say like it probably is pretty similar. There's definitely a lot of fucking, trans people. There's a lot of fucking liberal people. There's a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of that shit in Austin for sure. And you get your cowboys and it's a weird like sect of like where the cowboys meet the fucking,
right, Indians.
The Indians. Yeah, the Indians, the Apache.
Yeah, dude. I feel like San Diego's dope just because it's almost like a red city. Yeah. It's just like super rare.
Yeah.
It's almost like a 50-50 split.
Yeah, no, San Diego's pretty chill. I like it for comedy, you know what I mean? Because like I'm not really like either way. I don't really give a fuck. Like it's like I grew up in a household that was like pretty Democrat, pretty liberal. Like my parents have always voted Democrat, so I was kind of just brainwashed with that as like a kid. It was like fuck Bush, fuck, you know what I mean? And then and then as I went to, and then I moved to Texas, and I was like, well, guns are cool. Like I mean, like I'm like,
yeah,
I've never shot one, but like it changed my mind about them. I was like, people should probably be able to own guns. Like they're pretty chill, And then fucking but the abortion laws suck there. I had to fucking go a whole different state to get my second abortion.
Let's go. Congrats.
The first abortion I was able to have in Texas because it was before they made it illegal.
So it's pretty recent. It's like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well, because I lived there only like I moved there probably 3 years ago. I mean,
I moved away from Austin.
I fucked that up. I mean, I moved away from Texas like 3 years ago. So
here.
No. To back to Seattle. I just moved here like 10 months ago, or like 11 months ago. And before that, I was here for like 6 months living in my car because I like lived in my car for 6 months, like a year and a half ago or something.
Specifically San Diego, like you moved
in
here
Ocean Beach
to live in your car, basically.
I like
you picked San Diego.
Well, yeah, my buddy like was selling crystals on the beach and shit. Actually, Ply from like early episodes. If you go up to the second or third episode, Ply's on there. But he's like a traveling fucking crystal salesman, like beatboxer, fucking dude. And like he was like he will come up here in the springtime. I think it's spring, and he comes up here and like sets up on the beach and sells fucking crystals and shit, and like makes a chunk of his money for the year and stuff. And so he would tell me, he was like, yo, come down here, it's a chill spot. And like I think like actually the year previous I had just come down for like a week or a couple of days and like came down and kicked it with him, and I was like, this is cool, but like he was busy, and so I dipped. But then the next time I came down, I brought my car, and I brought my car both times, but this time I brought my car like to live in, like had like a mattress, brought a bunch of tie-dye.
So did you like leave you're living in Texas at the time? No,
I was living in Washington by this time. Like, because I lived in Texas.
In an apartment, and then you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to live in my car in San Diego?
Yeah, like, I'd been paying, like, rent in an apartment in Seattle, and then I, like, it was hella expensive, and I was depressed as shit. I was just, because I was, like, super isolated. I hadn't even started doing comedy at this point, so I just had, like, no community. Mm-hmm. Even though I grew up in Seattle, there's a lot of people I knew from when I lived there either weren't around or I had, like, just grown apart from them and wasn't close and wasn't like on the, speaking terms of like, hey, what up? Like I'm back in Seattle or whatever. So I just had like very little community, was fucking super depressed, was just like doing ketamine like all day in my fucking apartment, like anytime I could get any, just like that was it. That was like all I was doing. And so I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of Seattle. I was like, this is not healthy. Like, so then I like hit the road. And then, because I was trying to get the fuck out of there before winter too, because winter was about to hit, and so that's when it was actually. So it was fall, because winter was about to hit, and I was like, "Fuck that! I don't want to get stuck in Seattle for another winter."
Yeah.
Because it's like for like December, like the snow will come for like a week or something, and you're like at the end of December, or whatever, you're just like stuck. It's fucking snow, and like I'm like stuck like at my parents' house because like I think I'd like moved out at that point from my thing, so I was like, I don't want to be fucking stuck out here.
Yeah.
So then I fucking mobbed to fucking San Diego, and then was like down here for fucking, you know, a couple months living in my car. That's when I started comedy at the Madhouse, because like Madhouse was happening every night.
Which one was that?
This was like a year and a half ago or something.
Okay. And then
or a little bit more than a year and
gotcha.
a half ago, probably. Like a little bit more. Because this was like right when I started comedy. I've been doing it for like a year and 8 months, year and 9 months or something like that.
So you're doing Madhouse every night?
So I was doing Madhouse every night for a couple of, like a month or two. And then I like dipped and went back to Seattle. And then I started in the Seattle scene.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But Madhouse was
So you
dope.
got a bunch of reps then, like at the start, if you're doing
Madhouse
it every
was
night.
super helpful for like that first couple of fucking weeks. It was so helpful to have a place that was the same place that I could get up
like
every
pretty decent
night.
crowd.
I mean, I was only getting up at the end of the show every night.
But still, sometimes there's people there.
But there was a couple people. There was at least comics. Nobody knew my. I didn't even know. I didn't even have an act at that point or anything.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just figuring it out. But it was a good. Like, I do miss having that like place where you could just. Every night it's there. It was like a clubhouse too. Everybody was like, it was like by the beginning or from the beginning, like I didn't really know anybody. It was kind of awkward, but then at the end, like people started to like know me and kind of like be more social to me and stuff. And it was, so it does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a slow. I'm so impatient too that like that's the thing with comedy is like I'm always like I want to fucking like be friends with everybody and all this, and like I see all these like long lasting relationships. These people who have known each other 4, 5, 3 years, whatever. And they're all close, and I'm like, why aren't we close like that? You know, it's like, you gotta chill. Like, these people have known each other. Yeah, we fucking hate you right now.
Can't you
like,
see in our eyes? We hate you.
Yeah. Like, you need to let us fucking like learn to like get past our hate and be like, just general acceptance, neutrality, and then maybe to one day like. Slight fucking less than hatred.
Make us laugh first.
That's the progression. Yeah, that's the journey for sure. Hell yeah, dude. All right, we're almost there. But yeah, no, making people laugh is definitely,
It's easy. Dude, making people laugh who don't want to laugh is probably one of the harder things you can do.
Well, it sucks too because I don't really think it's like weird because it's a duality where it's like I think that like I enjoy my type of humor because I'm always around myself and I think it is my brand of humor. So I'm like, oh, like the things that make me laugh in life, I think they're funny, but I'm not like in this delusional state of like I think I'm so funny. You know what I mean? Like I think I'm fine.
Yeah, I think if anyone's like ever made someone laugh once, it's like you can do that again.
Yeah, no, I think you can do it again, exactly. And I think it's something you can learn. Like it's just like singing for me. Like people are like, you're a really good singer. But like when I started singing fucking 19 years ago, I wasn't a really good singer. I was pretty fucking bad.
But you like it.
I liked singing, and so I just kept doing it, and I learned how to get good. And now people are like, damn, you're amazing in that. And I'm like, okay, but you could be too if you want to. And that's what I think about comedy too, where I'm like, I don't think I'm very funny right now. I don't think I'm a fucking amazing comic, but I think that if you want to, I think I like doing it, and I love listening to really good stand-ups who crush and like create these amazing like layered bits and stuff. And I'm like, I have the desire to get to that point.
Right. And it's not even asking that much.
No, it's
like
just
think about just let's try to put together one 5-minute bit.
Yeah.
Within 10 years.
For
That's
sure.
really good.
Yeah.
Like that should be easy.
Nah, you got to be able to do an hour.
No, I'm saying just in general. Dude, imagine
10
you just had like
minutes.
a banger of like a 5-minute joke.
Oh, for sure.
Across, let's say like 3 years.
Yeah.
It sounds very doable.
No, totally.
Hard though.
hard for sure. It definitely takes like working, and like it's not just gonna happen. You can't just go to mics and just show up and put, like, you have to actually sit down, write, listen to yourself, figure out what your process is to grow.
Unless you have like a hilarious story that just happened to be 5 minutes.
But even that has to be punched up and you have to do it so many times that it's fucking second nature. You know what I mean? Because like it's like a story like that. It can be,
but it would be closer than writing a joke from scratch. That's just like some premise.
Exactly. If you have something that's like some thing concrete,
like some crazy life story you have.
Exactly, and that's why like going and living life is beneficial for comedy. Like just going and doing some weird shit. But also, I think that sometimes the best jokes are just from these minds and from wordplay and from like different like misdirection and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if there's a right way to do anything.
No.
You know, I think it's very subjective.
Yeah, that's what's nice about comedy is there's no blueprint, or there's like certain things like you have to do the mics.
Yeah, well, it's what's nice about it, and it's what's challenging about it, because it's like it makes it challenging because it makes it like you authentically have to apply yourself and figure out your own voice, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to like stand out and get like truly like.
Yeah, it's the opposite of acting.
Yeah, exactly. Because acting, you're just playing a role, playing a character, being able to like develop these things that are disingenuous. And then in comedy, you have to be so genuine that the crowd can relate to you on a core level.
Right. I think actors are psychopaths. Like I know a lot of people in comedy.
For sure, yeah.
They're all of them.
Yeah.
Just like
they're all the paths.
Right.
Dude.
Actually, I know a couple. Like I know there's a lot in comedy.
We've had an actor on the podcast.
I know one dude who's
Jordan Bailey. It's just his birthday.
I really liked, but.
Yeah.
Like, they're all fine. That was a very general statement. But I do think it's a crazy thing to want to do, to, like, just let me go be someone else for, like, hours of my day.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think, like, when I was a kid, like, well, because when you see, okay, like, the thing is, when you see people playing a really fun role, you're like, that looks so fun.
You
know
think?
what I mean?
I've never had that thought. Like, what role would you want to be?
Like Spicoli from, like, Fast Times at Ridgemont High or something, where he's like, yeah, man, you know what I mean? Like, he's a stoner or whatever.
You mean the character seems dope? And it's like, oh, that's a cool character.
Yeah, like, he's playing a cool character, and you're like, well, that's not really him. Like, he's portraying a character, but you get caught up in the the fantasy that this is a real person, this is a real character, and you're like, that would be a fun character to play. But then when you actually are like, see what is involved with what that dude had to do to facilitate that, like, as a thing, like, then you're like, oh, actually I don't want to do that, because actually it was just him having to redo this line 10 billion times and sit in this, and it's like, it's not like this fun sexy thing that the character makes it look, because that's movie magic.
Do you think acting is hard? Like, where do you think it ranks in, like, the arts?
I think that once you get it down, depending on the role, it's probably not that hard, because I think that most of them have it to a degree of second nature that they can just tap into it and be pretty much like in flow state and just be themselves. Like somebody like Matthew McConaughey or something, where it's just like, he's a cool dude, so he's just being cool.
This is why I don't think it can be that hard, is because it's just all the hottest people.
Yeah, but
so like if you're hot though, yeah, it's just like, well, all right, you're good enough to be in this movie, which is crazy. But
that's why I feel like maybe like that's why like either a hot actor is like going to be just subpar, or the really good the hot actors that are really good stand out, because you're like, oh, you're hot, but you're also an incredible actor. You know, which there's not many of them, but I would say there's a couple, you know what I mean? Or there's just people who don't really have to do anything. Like Brad Pitt or something, like he doesn't really have to like do, like, his characters are pretty like,
yeah, is he a good actor?
Chill. I have no idea. I don't know. I like
Leo
him,
seems to be a good actor.
I'm just saying they're likable people. They don't even, like you're saying, to your point, they don't need to be good actors. If they're such a likable personality, all they need to do is make you believe that they're the role, that you know what I mean, that they're fitting into whatever you're trying to fit them into in the fucking relation to this movie or script. But like, they don't need to be like so incredibly like tear jerking. They just have to be fun themselves, and you're like, I love them, I like them. That's why that's why they're movie stars, you know,
right?
Because they're fucking. That's why they're famous, because they're like, oh, we fucking. Yeah,
and then they go home and they're just horrible people.
Yeah, and then they beat their wives. And they fucking neglect their children and put them in cages with AI fucking robots to watch them. And like, yeah, no, it's crazy. They drink the blood of babies and they praise Satan, on the cross, but upside down cross. But no, that's just Hollywood for you. That's just
that's what we're going for.
Yeah, that's the
dream.
Goal. Yeah, that's the dream. Adrenachrome.
The dream is
the dream.
Would you say the dream is to get invited to Epstein Island?
Yeah.
Is that when you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's when you know. That's fucking.
We made it.
Yeah, no, a Diddy party. It used to be a Diddy party, and now
that's the dream. Would you go? Knowing what it is, I actually. Would you, if you were invited, you would go? You probably have to go.
Yeah, check it out. Like, I mean, the babes at the Diddy party, dude, the babes are going to be freaks. Like, you know what I mean?
Do you actually know? You seem like you would know.
What?
The details of, because I've paid zero attention. The only way I hear about it is at open mics.
I hear the open mics or podcasts. I hear people talking about it on podcasts.
But you haven't like looked
I don't
into
deep
it.
dive.
Okay.
No, I'm not like a researcher. I don't like.
You're not like a gossipy.
I'm
like
a gossipy.
You're not like a People magazine.
No, I am, but I'm just like I just repeat. I'm like a parrot. I'm like a podcast parrot. I just hear all these comedians and things. I just hear all these different voices telling things, and then I just repeat them completely and factually.
You do current events. You do current events in your comedy.
Not really. Like if I can think of something, like if I hear some story and then an idea pops up. Like, I'll do it. Like, I did, like, a little bit on, like, Diddy, where I was like, oh, like, when the Drake and fucking Kanye, or Drake and fucking Kendrick beef was happening, like, I did a bit where I was like, oh, Diddy's the most happy that this is happening because he's out of the news or whatever, like, and it was longer than that, but it was, like, it didn't work, but it's just like, yeah, I occasionally will do a little thing where I'm like, if I think of something that I'm like, oh, that pertains to this thing, like a Hawktua too. I think I had like a line on Hawktua or whatever, but I don't really try and, you know what I mean? It's only like, I don't try and force it. Like, I don't go and look at current events and be like, here, let me write from that, that just kind of, it bores me, but then occasionally I'll be like, and too many people are doing it too. That's the other thing. I hate doing a bit that 7 people have a fucking perspective on, and I'm like, I don't want to write too close to. Like, I just had to drop a joke the other day because I had the same punchline as somebody. He like came up and told me, and I was like, oh,
what was the joke?
It was that fucking
the Fruit of the
Loom.
Right,
yeah,
but how, dude?
I don't want to say the punchline.
That's insane. It's insane to me that there was overlap with that.
Because it's a different. His perspective was different. His was like on like I'll tell you after or whatever, because I don't want to ruin his joke. But it was totally different. The premises were completely different, but the punchline was the same. But it's an easy punchline to get to. It's just a.
I know you said that before, but like I would never. It's just a pun. I could live 10 lifetimes and not ever think of that.
Well, it's because you're not a fucking dumb pun person, and thank God you can thank the gods for that. I'm I'm one of these dumb pun idiots.
I wouldn't say that's an easy connection.
For pun people, it is. For pun people who just think in puns, dude, it's a curse. It's a curse of the puns. I tell you, I can't fucking write a joke that's not a pun, and it's so fucked up because puns are like the lowest form of comedy. Like, literally, you don't get respect for doing puns. Like you do puns at an open mic. Why do you do it then? Because I don't have any other fucking material.
That's not true.
I barely do. I have some little things here.
If you hate it, then why are you doing it?
I'm just, I don't know, laziness.
But you're writing it, so it's like you're actively doing shit that you hate. I think
it's funny. No, I think they're funny. I giggle because I'm an idiot, so I giggle.
Well, there's a pun guy is Normand. A huge pun guy.
I know, and I love Normand.
Yeah.
And people like hate it. Like, people will be like I like watched his set at like Skankfest with John, and like John was like, I hated that, and I was like, he was great. It was
all puns.
I mean, no, not
like a lot of puns.
No, he just does. He does a lot of this. He has a very similar template of how he does jokes. He's like, this and this. Like, he'll do a lot of comparison shit. Like, oh, if I was a bubba, I'd be this. But if I was a da-da-da,
that's weird because
yeah, he does a lot of that. But like, I like Mark though. I fucking love Mark.
Great,
I think he's funny, very smart and shit. And also, John fucking like was like shouting out. John was amazed by Carrot Top, bro. We went and saw Carrot Top for free out there. It was so horrible, dude.
Who
like,
is that?
What?
Who's Carrot Top?
Carrot
like
Top?
What? Yeah, like what's their style?
You don't know Carrot Top?
No.
He's that prop comic who's been in fucking Vegas for like a million years, dude. He's been at the Luxor now for fucking like literally. He's been at the.
Yeah, never seen him.
This dude,
I've heard of him.
Yeah, you've heard of him at least, dude. This dude,
he's like an America's Got Talent kind of guy,
bro. He's just this like it's just all his shit is just like props and then like punchlines. Like where he'll like it's just like a DJ like basically does the punch, like it's just all shit like this where it's like he's just building weird shit and then telling a joke about it, and then like he like does this shit where like that most of his thing is like the DJ just being like he has a DJ that's not even on stage, it's just the sound person, and it's just like doing like it'll do like one bar of like fucking like I don't know like fucking party rockers in the house tonight, and it'll stop there, but like that'll be the joke, like and Carrot Top will like sing it, he'll like right. Whatever, he'll karaoke it, lip sync it.
That's pretty funny though. That is, it's not a pun.
And then, yeah, it's true. It's much better. It is higher on the fucking on the cast system of
singing
comedy.
A lyric.
Yeah, the comedy cast system. Yeah, singing. And I do.
Put a lyric
and also, bro, I can't say anything because I do that all the time. Bro. I have like 5 jokes that like have like lyrics singing in them. Like where I'm like, Mr.
So that's good.
Jones.
That's
no, it means I'm a hack. I'm a fucking the hackiest.
But that's a step
up. No, but then and then he'll do this shit where like, and then the other part of his show, Carrot Top show, is just literally like a PowerPoint presentation, like where he's just like, and then here's Kamala and Trump, and it's just like him showing like a picture of Kamala and Trump, and then like, so it was like it was so.
At least he's got diversity to his act, I guess.
But it was funny because
your buddy liked him.
My buddy really liked him, which made me completely like
not
judge
his opinion.
Now I don't respect his opinion on comedy, and he's open for a tell.
Or really anything.
And he's open for a tell, and he's gonna open for a tell again.
So he's good. This your friend who was like,
I don't know. Now I don't know. I thought he was good until
let me see some Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Let me judge
Carrot
for myself.
Top is so fucking bad, dude. Carrot Top should kill himself. And he had a bit that was his funniest part of his bit was talking about killing himself. And he was like talking about jumping out of the Luxor because he's been doing his act at the Luxor, which is like this the pyramid, Luxor, yeah. And so like when we went to the Luxor, my buddy read all the things that had happened there, and there's been like hundreds of deaths and murders and fucking like hella fucked up shit in the Luxor.
Specifically only the Luxor.
I'm sure all over
probably all
Vegas,
the hotels, right?
But I'm just saying the Luxor has a very dark history. And then Duncan Trussell talks about, he's got a bit where he talks, and I don't want to like ruin his bit, but he's got a bit about the Luxor being run by like a fucking supreme vampire and like it being like his headquarters. And I literally believe that is true, dude, and that the Luxor is run by a fucking like a ring of vampires. And then I was thinking that like if that's true, dude, I think that Carrot Top is not fucking I don't think that he's had a fucking residency at the fucking Vegas Luxor for 18 years because he likes doing it, because it's in this tiny little showroom too. It's not glorious, you know what I mean? And I think he's been doing it because he has outstanding gambling debts with the fucking Luxor.
Well, he probably just signed a contract.
No,
with them,
I bet
right?
he's millions of dollars in debt, bro. I bet he's millions of dollars, and he's just their little puppet, bro. And they're just like, dance for us, little red-haired monkey. And he's just like fucking like chained to the fucking, like he's got a fucking ball of chain around him. He just can't leave.
He's for sure locked in. You think it's for gambling.
And then they keep telling him probably, they're like, dude, well, don't worry. Like eventually we're going to make you a vampire. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, okay. But then like they keep just being like, after he leaves, they're like, we're never going to make you a fucking vampire, dude. Like fucking bitch. Like we're going to watch him die here. And he keeps getting older and because like when you get put into a vampire state, then you stay like whatever age that you you get bitten, like that's what you stay for eternity. So he keeps getting like older and older, and so he's like,
Yeah,
dude,
he's
please,
like,
like,
"Come on,
he's like,
guys."
yeah, I keep
Yeah.
getting so much plastic surgery, and they're like, no, the moon isn't right yet, and they're like, you fucking bitch, like we're never letting you get eternal life, like you fucking faggot, like they fucking hate. So yeah, dude, I think that's why. That's Carrot Top's.
That's yeah. Well,
That's Carrot Top's fucking
got a new
future.
fan, so
Yeah. Well, shit, dude. Well, fucking thanks for doing the podcast. We made it. You got anything you want to plug?
no. But glad to be here.
Hell yeah.
It's a great room if you can check it out.
Hell yeah.
Ladies,
Yeah.
fellas,
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah.
It's a great bed.
Yeah, dude. It's comfy. Yeah, dude. Andrew Willmore. Fucking, yeah. Hopefully we'll get you on the pod again. Shout out. And October 11th, come see the fucking Mission Brewing. Come check it out. We'll be out there. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Fuck yeah. What's That Source Podcast. Thank you.